Hi, and welcome back to the Positive Prepper. I know that it's been a while. It's been absolutely crazy, both with work and personal stuff going on. So I do apologize for the lack of communication. I hope that you all had a safe 4th of July. We're going to talk about that a little bit later in this video, and just how crazy things have gotten, really lately. I'm sitting here behind my pavilion and my flowers are starting to come in. I planted pansies because the last time I planted them, they climbed up the lattice. So I'm really hoping that they do the same thing again this year. Let's hope. So maybe, and I got them planted late. So hopefully in a few weeks, we'll start to see them climbing. But so that's why I decided to do this video here. So I'm going to start off with this AB5. It was a law that was passed in California that takes effect this week. What that essentially does is it takes 70,000 trucks off of the roads in California. It outlaws owner-operator trucks. So they want truck drivers to be either part of unions or part of major companies. Well, owner-operators, they pay for their own repairs, they pay for their own insurance and all of that. And so because certain political affiliations weren't getting money from them, they decided that they were going to outlaw them. Now, why does this matter in a prepping video? Well, it matters because these trucks go to the coast and they get the ocean freight containers and distribute them inland, right? And we already know how broken the supply chain is. Taking 70,000 trucks out of that mix is going to even further damage the supply chain issues. And it's putting 70,000 trucker families out of jobs unless they're willing to move elsewhere or are able to work from somewhere else. So it's going to be interesting to see in the next couple weeks how this really affects everything. But my main concern is the ocean freight. The trains aren't carrying as much cargo, so they're not going to be able to make up the difference for what these trucks do. And then you add on top of that, when China does invade Taiwan, which could be any time, that also is going to add another layer to that shortage and that disruption in the supply chains. Okay, chip shortages are already bad. They're going to get exponentially worse when that invasion happens. Something a lot of people say as well, you said China was going to invade Taiwan like 4 months ago. These are all processes that happen, right? They're looking at environment, they're looking at the global stability, they're looking at the reinforcements, they're looking at the countries around them. These are not things that just happen automatically. They're things that are very strategic. Okay, just like when Russia invaded Ukraine. Okay, Russia now knows pretty much that even if they used a micro-nuclear warhead, a tactical nuclear warhead, that there's pretty much not going to be a response to that. And that's how wars are conducted. It's very tactical, it's very specific, and they look at all of these exterior things going on to find the right time, the right place, the right way to do things. So again, don't become complacent because none of this has happened yet. The key word is yet. Okay? The second thing, I believe that there were like 5 different shootings at 4th of July events over the weekend. And that just shows how crazy people have gotten. And then, of course, we all know about the Georgia Guidestones being damaged. And then I think one of the towers was completely brought down. I think there was not anything good in those Guidestones. It was very pro decrease the population. In Scrooge's word, decrease the surplus population. But these things are going to continue happening. These shootings are going to continue happening. And I'm going to cover why I think that these things are happening. Well, number one, people have just gone crazy. They've just gone plain crazy, okay? Criminals aren't being prosecuted by liberal attorneys or prosecutors the way that they should be, right? We'd rather hug them than hold them accountable. That's not how you teach people that there are consequences for their actions. And it's also ways to keep us divided. Keep our eyes on other things rather than the things that are really... It's not that these things didn't affect people. People died. And that's horrible and tragic. But as a nation, collectively, these aren't the things that are affecting everyday people. Your gas prices, your food prices, those are the things that are affecting people on an everyday basis. But there's, again, like I said, a lot of it's because the prosecutors, we'd rather hug them than hold them accountable. The second reason I think a lot of this is happening is because, again, we have withheld discipline from children. They don't discipline children in school anymore. In one of my local school districts, the kids are, when they get upset, they are able to go to a safe space. They are not held accountable. They can throw their books, stomp their feet, throw their shoes, tip the desks. They're able to go out into the hallway and just walk around. Somebody might come up and talk to them a little bit about, oh my gosh, what's going on today. But they're never held accountable for their actions. And everyone gets a participation trophy. So you don't have to work for what you want. If you throw a big enough temper tantrum, you are just given it. Okay? That's a big part of the problem. And I'm going to give you a case in point. So where I work right now, we are taking people in from different businesses and giving them a place to stay, especially people that have gone through hard times, as well as I forgot what the word was, transitioning people so they don't have an actual physical address, right? And a lot of Hispanic speaking people. So this one person that was in our building, I had a discussion with this person about the fact that they were violating a lot of the rules that we have. It's community living, so you have to lock the doors, right? You can't leave the doors open. You can't have overnight visitors in your room. Common sense things. You need to do your dishes after they're done. It's community living. And I was moving this person to another room, and this person said, well, I feel like I'm living in an institution again. And I said, no, you're not. You are free to come and go as you want. You are free to eat whenever you want, whatever you want. You're free to have visitors. You get a TV in your room. You can watch what you want to watch. We don't control your everyday movements. We just have certain rules in place that keep the community safe. And this person threw a major temper tantrum because This person felt, because they had just come out of prison, and so they felt like, why should I have to abide by these rules when I just came out of something that had these rules, right? Did not want to be accountable for keeping everybody else in the building safe, was only concerned about themselves. And this person is from a certain generation that tends to have more of that ideology than us older people. And so it's very, very, very sad. The other thing that's happening too is that with all of these things going on and all of these people going off reservation, is that they are going to use these as a platform to disarm the American citizens. Now, whether or not that happens, check with your county. We are right now, we're in a Second Amendment sanctuary county, whereas our sheriff has decided that none of the laws, should they come, they won't apply to the citizens in my county, because we're basically a sanctuary county. Okay, we will continue to have the right to bear arms. We can open carry and we can conceal and carry. Okay, we have to have the permit, though it's not constitutional carry, just to clarify that. But they are going to use all of these incidents as a means in which to try to disarm the population. So you need to stay aware of that and how that affects you. The third thing that I want to get to, if and when a civil war breaks out, and I know that we've been saying for a long time that it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Again, it's a very strategic thing. But you have to understand that it's not going to be just left versus right, or north versus south, or black versus white. We're going to have a lot of foreign entities that are going to be engaged in that. For example, China, Russia. How many countries have been invading us from the southern border? If you think that there aren't cells that are organized and ready to strike, then you haven't been paying attention. Okay, you need to be aware of the fact that a civil war, it's going to be really difficult to figure out who your enemy is. And I think I referenced that in a prior video in Gods and Generals, which is a great movie about the Civil War. And the one guy says, well, how do you know who our enemies? We have green coats, gray coats, red coats. And his friend replies, well, you dummy, you just shoot at the ones that are shooting at you. It's not going to be that simple. Okay? You really have to pay attention to current events and figure out who all the players are. And I think I'm going to do a video on that, on who all the players are, to really know and identify, when that time comes, who the actual enemies are. But that being said, we also have to remember that the enemy is Satan, number one. Okay, he's using this time right now to divide and conquer. He is bringing souls and bodies to him and trying to take as many away from the Lord as possible. So while it's really important that you defend yourself and build up your own self-defense, you really need to put on the armor of God so that you are not susceptible to Satan being able to come and take you and put you in his army. Number 4. There's 4 things, and I heard this on another prepper channel, and well, actually a couple of them, and I thought it was really well said. Stock what you use, learn to fill in your gaps, produce and duplicate your essentials, and protect what you have. So stack, learn, produce, protect. Okay? So figure out where your gaps are, Whatever it is that you use on a daily basis, you need to be stacking that. Okay? You need to be producing and duplicating the essentials, whether it's canning or ammo or your defensive stuff. You need to be getting that duplicated, triplicated, okay? Figure out where your gaps are, and then you have to have a plan to protect what you have. So I hope that that all helped you kind of gain an understanding of what's going on right now. So I want to get back to, I have been trying to give this book away, The Prepper's Survival Bible. But the first person declined it. The second person did not respond. So therefore, we are left with, I have my helper again. Thank you. We are left with the ESP James, and we have Kimberly Brinkman. You are the last two left. So I've, oh, right about there. So will you stir those up for me, please? So that I don't want to know. Okay, and then I'm going to just draw a name. The ESP James, you are the winner of the book, The Prepper Survival Bible. So if you want this, email me at positiveprepper@gmail.com with an address, and I will happily send it either to you or to someone you want it sent to, free of charge. Okay, for this video, I am giving away our very own wildflower honey, and this is from our own, okay, wildflower honey, and a Brita filtered water bottle with filters. So I'm giving away these two things for this video, okay? So this question, my almost golden birthday daughter came up with this question. What is the most useless thing you have in your preps? So not useful, but what do you feel might be the most useless thing you have in your preps? That maybe somebody said, oh, you got to have this, and you're thinking, well, I'll get it, but I don't know why. Okay, so I thought it was a very interesting question. So what is the most useless thing you have in your preps? You have 1 week to respond in the comments section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, please. Hit that like button. And in 1 week, I will draw a name to see who wins the honey and the Brita water bottle. I am really going to try hard to get back on track. What I wanted to start about a month ago was a 5x5 videos. So 5-minute videos, 5 days a week, because I know that your time is valuable. I know that mine certainly is as well. And so I wanted to do 5x5 videos on top of my normal videos. And I think I said that before. I am going to do everything I can to start those on Monday, now that things have calmed down a little bit for me. So look for those coming out. And I definitely want to stay engaged. Things are happening so fast that I think it's super important now more than ever. So as always, stay safe, stay aware, especially now more than ever, and God bless.